Welcome back to Hard Truths with Hardy. We are at the halfway point of the year. In fact, we're a little bit past it. And East Tennessee Realtors Association just came out with their State of the Housing Market 2026 edition. So I thought it would be a good time for us to go over what's going on in our local market here. Everybody's always interested in what's happening and how's the market, so let's share that information right now. It looks like at the halfway mark that 2026 is going to be the year that East Tennessee housing market finally recovers from post-pandemic swings. We're seeing people that have waited to buy homes, waiting on interest rates to drop, folks that needed houses basically because maybe their family's growing, maybe they're looking toward retirement and they need a single story versus a two-story. People that had housing needs that were waiting to get a better interest rate decide that now is the time to get back into the market. So that pent-up demand has made a big difference this year for us. Consumers are returning, they can't put off their needs anymore. So even though mortgage rates in 2026 are actually slightly higher than they were last year, people are re-entering the market. East Tennessee home sales were up 14.1% from June 2025. The median sale price was $390,000. You know, when I started in real estate in 2018, you could buy a new construction 2,000 square foot home, nice home, for $189,000. And now our median sale price is $390,000. That is a huge difference, and it blows my mind. That's up 3.3% from last year. Our housing inventory has increased 6.5% from the previous year. When we have more inventory, you see buyers get a little pickier because they have more selection to choose from, and they're not so willing to put up with homes that enter the market not in good condition. They want to make sure that the home's in good shape before they buy it. They'll ask for more repairs. They'll want the seller to pass them on a home that has a good roof, has a good HVAC, and doesn't need a lot of repairs when they move in. Half of the homes were sold and under contract in 20 days or less. That doesn't mean that our average days on market's not up, but homes that are presented well and priced right are still selling, and they're selling in 20 days or less. 43% of homes sold for the asking price or above, so there are still homes that are selling for higher than what they're listed, and I firmly believe that if you price the house reasonably up front and get more competition, more people setting up showings and getting in the door, you have that opportunity to create a competitive situation where you could potentially get more than one offer. 18.7% sold for more than the asking price. 7.8% sold for at least $10,000 over asking. The sell to list price ratio, which means how many homes sold at the list price or better, held steady at 98.9% compared to 99% last year. Our average days on market for July were 48. Now that's up from 43 last year. So we are still seeing homes sitting a little bit longer. Also, if you've not heard, Knox County is looking at an ordinance to ban entities from owning more than 100 homes. If you've not heard on the news, there are a lot of Wall Street hedge fund type owners that have bought up a lot of homes in our area, and it's not just here, it's happening all over the country. And they can really control the market when they own that many homes, and it drives the price up. Additionally, in our area, we don't have enough homes in the 200s and the 300s for our current people that live here, and that's a real issue. Knox County has been working on that issue for quite some time as far as affordable housing. But stopping entities like these from owning more than 100 homes would definitely be a move in the right direction. That ordinance passed on its first reading 9-2, and that's something I personally hope gets passed. It would make a difference here. I wish we could insist that they own less than 100, even if they already do, but we can't. If they own them, and you can't change that. But they could stop people from buying more than 100 in the future. I think it's important to know what's happening in the market, especially if you're looking to buy or sell. It's important to keep up with what's going on, so that's why we're sharing this market update with you. If you'd like more information, feel free to reach out to me. And as always, you can find us on YouTube and on Spotify. You can also link to us from our Instagram, Facebook, and our other social media pages. We'll see you next week right here on Hard Truths with Hardy.